everyone, welcome to my class. Today we are going to study one more important chapter in chemistry, that is classification of elements and periodicity in properties. In today's class we will discuss about what is classification and why we need classification of elements, and we will discuss about modern periodic table. In today's class, first concept is classification. Then we will discuss about historic development of modern periodic table. Then we will discuss about modern periodic table. Then we will discuss about electronic configuration of elements. Then we will discuss about nomenclature of elements. Nomenclature of elements with atomic numbers which greater than 100. Then we will discuss about metals and non-metals, and also metalloids or semi-metals. First, classification. First, what is classification? First, elements. What are elements? Elements are the basic units of all types of matter. Then classification. What is classification of elements? Grouping or arrangement of elements with their similar characteristics. That is called classification. But why we need classification of elements? In 1800, only 31 elements were known. In 1865, 63 elements were known. But at present, 118 elements are known. But we can able to study and understand the every element, their properties and chemical properties, physical property. We can't able to study individually. So we need classification. So first, classification means what? Arrangement or grouping of elements with their similar characteristic. That is called classification. But why we need classification? To study and understand the properties of elements. So we need classification. Then historic development of periodic table, modern periodic table. So many scientists tried to classify the elements on the basis of their similar characteristic. First scientist, historic development of first Dobereiner. Law of triads. That law was given by Dobereiner in the year of 1829. He was the first scientist. He tried to classify the elements in the order of increasing of their atomic masses. He classified the three elements in three groups on the basis of their increasing atomic number. Example: lithium, sodium, potassium, calcium, strontium, barium, chlorine, bromine, iodine. He classified the elements in three elements in three groups. Then he noticed that, and he stated that atomic weight of the middle element is equal to arithmetic mean of other two elements. We can check it first. This is 3. Then he stated that atomic weight of the middle element is equal to the arithmetic mean of other two elements. It means this is A element, this is B element, this is C element. Atomic weight of B element is equal to the arithmetic mean of other two elements by 2. Atomic weight of sodium 40 plus 7, 47 by 2. It means this is a law of triad. It means atomic weight of the middle element is equal to the arithmetic mean of other two elements. In the Triad's law. This is Triad's law. This is Doberener's law. Then Doberener plus point, he was the first scientist. He tried to classify the elements on the basis of increasing their atomic masses. But limitations of law of triads, it means he couldn't able to classify the all elements which were known in his time. He classified the nine elements only. So this is the limitations of Triad's law or Doberener's Triad's law. Then 1865, Newland, another scientist, Newland. Doberener was a German scientist, chemist. In the Newland classified the elements on the basis of their atomic masses. Then he said that every eighth element is having the same properties of its respective element. He classified the elements lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, sodium, magnesium. So he classified the elements on the basis of their atomic masses. Then he said that every eighth element is having the same property of its respective element. It means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sodium is having the same properties of its respective first elements. This law was called as a octave law. Newland is an English chemist. This law was called as a octave law. But limitations of octave law. First one, this octave law only applicable to calcium only. After calcium, every eighth element is not having the same properties of its respective first element. So this is the first limitations of octave law. This law was given by Newland. Then second limitation of octave law, this law only applicable to lighter elements only. So this is also one limitations of octave. What is this law? He arranged the elements in the order of increasing of their atomic masses. Then he noticed that and stated that every eighth element is having the same property of its respective first element. Then Mendeleev, he was a Russian chemist. He told that the properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic weights or atomic masses. The law of Mendeleev or Mendeleev's periodic law. State the Mendeleev's periodic law. Then you can write the properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic weights. Plus points of this periodic law. First one is he predicted the properties of undiscovered elements, like he predicted the Eka aluminum and Eka silicon. After discovered, Eka aluminum was named as a gallium, and Eka silicon after discover it named as a germanium. So this is also one plus point. But what are the limitations of Mendeleev's periodic law? First one is the position of hydrogen could not be explained. This the first limitations of Mendeleev's periodic law. Then second limitations, Position of isotopes could not be explained. So this is also one limitation. Then he said that he arranged the elements in increasing order of their atomic mass, but nickel is having a nickel is lesser than cobalt on the basis of atomic masses, but Mendeleev stated that he arranged the elements on the basis of increasing order of their atomic masses. This is wrong. So this is also one limitation. First limitation is higher. Position of hydrogen could not be explained. Then position of isotopes could not be explained. This is Mendeleev's periodic law. Then modern periodic law. We must bear in mind when Mendeleev he developed his modern periodic law, chemist knew nothing about the internal structure of atom. So in 1913 Henry Moseley state the modern periodic law, that is, the properties of elements are periodic functions of their not atomic mass, only atomic number. The properties, the physical or chemical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic number. This is the modern periodic law. This law was given by Henry Moseley in the year of 1913. So first, this is your modern periodic table. So this is modern periodic table, also called as long form of the elements. First, this is S block elements, these P block elements, these are D block elements, then these are F block elements. Before going to study the modern periodic law, first you can see here. First, electron configuration. What is electron configuration? First, shell and orbitals and electronic configuration. First, shell. What is shell? Do you know about the shell? Shell means energy level. Energy level is called shell. Example, this is atom, this is K shell, this is L shell, this is M shell, this is N shell. It depends by the N. If you want to get the capacity of shell, capacity of filling electrons, you have to use this formula. This is 2n square. Capacity of K shell, N means shell number, to 1 square. This is 2 electrons. Then N shell, 2n square, 2 square means 8. So this is shell. Main energy level is called shell. Then what are the orbitals? Orbitals means filling of electrons into subshells. It means S, Sp, Spd, Spd, F. These are all orbitals. Orbitals means filling of electrons into different subshells. Those are called orbitals. Example for orbitals, S, P, D, F. Then electronic configuration. What is electronic configuration? In the lower class you have already studied about what is electronic configuration. It means distribution of electrons into different orbitals of an atom. that is called electronic configuration. Can you write the electronic configuration of lithium? It means 1s2 2s1. Atomic number of lithium is 3. Then sodium, can you write the electronic configuration of sodium? So what is the atomic number of sodium? That is 11. So 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s1. This is the electronic configuration of sodium. So what is electronic configuration? Distribution of electrons into different orbitals of an atom. That is called electronic configuration. This is electronic configuration. You already you have known that how we are writing the electronic configuration. But now we are studying about electronic configuration with group. Then modern periodic table. Modern periodic table is having a 7 periods or 7 series. Horizontal rows are called series or periods. Then columns are called groups. Totally 18 groups are there in the modern periodic table. Then 7 periods or 7 series are present in the modern periodic table. Then we are classifying into 4 blocks. First one S block, second one P block, next one D block, then this is F block. This is the shortest period or shortest series. Shortest period, then second and third periods are called as a short periods, and fourth and fifth periods are called as a long periods, and sixth period or sixth series called as a longest period. Then seventh series or seventh period is called as a incomplete series. So first period is having a 2 elements. Then second and third period or second and third series are having a 8 elements. Then fourth and fifth periods are having a 18 elements. Then sixth period or sixth series is having a 32 elements. Then seventh period is the incomplete period. Then electronic GOEC. This is very important. GOEC means General Outer Electronic Configuration of S block elements. This is very important for exam purpose. S block. General Outer Electronic Configuration of S block elements, that is NS 1 or 2. It means N means shell number. This is the S block elements. This is the NS1, this is NS2. Then General Outer Electronic Configuration of P block elements, that is NS2, NP1 to 6. This is the General Outer Electronic Configuration of P block elements. Then D block elements and F block elements. It means NS0 to N-1, D to 1 to 10. This is the General Outer Electronic Configuration of D block elements. Then F block elements. This is the General Outer Electronic Configuration of S block elements, P block elements and D block elements, then F block elements. These are all very important for exam purpose only. Exam purpose. So first we come to S block elements. I have told that what is the General Outer Electronic Configuration of S block elements. So this This first group called as alkali metals. Then second group of S block is called alkali earth metals. What is the general outer electronic configuration of S block element? That is NS1 or NS2. Then these P block elements, S block and P block elements are also called as representative elements or main group elements. Then these are all called D block elements, also called as transition elements, transition series elements. Then this is a lanthanoid series and this is a actinoid series. Then these are all called inner transition elements. So modern periodic table. This is the modern periodic table. This was constructed by the Henry Moseley in the 1913. What is the modern periodic law? Physical properties or chemical properties are the periodic functions of their atomic number, atomic mass related to Mendeleev periodic law, but atomic number, this is related to modern periodic law. Then we have let us move on to the next concept, that is nomenclature of elements with atomic numbers which are greater than 100. First, nomenclature of elements. IUPAC. What is IUPAC? What is the long form of IUPAC? International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. First, you have to remember the name of the digit. First, 0 is nil, 1 is un, 2 is bi, 3 is tri, and 4 is quad. Then 5 is pent, then 6 is hept, and 7 is hex, then 8 is oct, then 9 is n. So you should remember the name of the digits, then only you can easily understand the nomenclature of elements with atomic numbers which are greater than 100. First, 101. What is the name, nomenclature of the 101? That is, 1 means un, 0 means nil, 1 means unnium. Nil, unnium. So, nil, unnium. Then you can say the 102, that is nil bium. Nil bium. Then 103. Can you say the nomenclature of 103? That is nil trium. Then 104. Nil quadium. Then 105. Nil pentium. Can you say the nomenclature of 106? That is nil, 6 means hept, nil heptium, then nil hexium, then nil octium, then nil ennium, then 110 nillium. Then you can imagine the 111th elements, the element nomenclature. That means unnium. Next, bium, trium. This is a very easy to understand. So you should remember the name of the digit to understand the nomenclature of elements with atomic numbers which are greater than 100 only. Then what is the long form of IUPAC? International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Then in the next video we are going to study about physical and chemicals trend in the modern periodic table. Before that we are going to study about metals, non-metals and metalloids. These are S block elements, these are P block elements, these are D block elements, these are F block elements. This means alkali metals, alkali earth metals, S block and P block elements are also called as representative elements or main group elements. Then transition elements, then inner transition elements. Next, let us move on to the next concept, that is metals and non-metals and metalloids. Metals. Oh, you can see here above 78% part of modern periodic table are metals only. So totally how many metals are present? 92 metals, then 19 non-metals, then 7 semi-metals are also called as metalloids. First, characteristics of metals and non-metals. In the lower class we have already studied about that. First, this is the brief introduction. First, metals are solid in nature but except mercury. Mercury is a liquid state at the room temperature, and bromine is the non-metal. It is also present in the liquid state at the room temperature. Next, metals are having a malleability character. Malleability character means what? We can convert the metal into thin sheet like structure. That is called malleability character. Metals are having this character highly, but non-metals are having this character. So which metal is having the more high malleability character? That is Rm. Rm means gold. Gold is having a high malleability character. Then metals are having a ductility nature. Now what is the ductility? Ductility means conversion of metals into thin wire like structure. That is called ductility. Metals are having a ductility nature, but non-metals are having these are not having the ductility nature. Which metal is having the more ductility nature? That is Rm or gold. So 1 gram, we can convert the 1 gram gold into 2 kilometer wire or 2 kilometer filament. So gold is having a high or more character of ductile. Then metals are strong in nature except sodium, potassium and lithium. Sodium, potassium, lithium are the smooth in nature, not hard. But non-metals are smooth in nature but except diamond. Diamond is the strong one. So next, metals are good conductors of heat. Good conductors of heat except mercury and lead. But non-metals are pure conductor heat. But non-metals are pure conductor of electricity. But graphite is a good conductor of electricity, and metals are also good conductor of electricity. Then these are all physical properties. Then metals are having a high boiling point and high melting point, but non-metals are having a low melting point, but except diamond. But metals are having a lustrous. Metals are lustrous means it is having a lustrous surface. Non-metals are having this nature, but except iodine and diamond, these are also lustrous in nature. Then these are all physical properties of metals and non-metals. Then chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Metals are having a 1, 2, 3 valence electrons, but non-metals are having a 5, 6, 7 valence electrons. Valence electrons means total number of electrons which are present in the outermost orbit. These are called valence electrons. But valency is different. Valency means combining capacity of an atom is called valency. Then chemical properties. Metals are good donors of electrons. It means they give the electrons to non-metals. But non-metals are good acceptor of electrons. So metals are electropositive in nature. Non-metals are electronegative in nature. These are all about metals and non-metals. Semi-metals means metalloids. Sometimes they react as a metals, sometimes they will react as a non-metals. So these are all metalloids or semi-metals. Totally 7 non-metals are there: boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium and polonium. These are all metalloids or semi-metal. These are all metals only. Above 78% part of modern periodic table is metals, only metals. These are non-metals. These are noble gases: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon, argonesium. These are all noble gases. 17th group is called as a, these are all halogens. Halogens means, halo means salt, gen means production. When these elements reacts with the metal, they give a salt. So these are called halogens. Halo means salt, gen means production. Then group of members of oxygen, or group of 16th group is called as a chalcogen group. Chalcogen group. So these are noble gases, these are halogens, these are chalcogen. First, helium. Helium means what? Helix. Helix means sun. S-U-N, sun. Helium means helix. So sun, S-U-N. Then neon. Neon means new. Then argon. Argon means lazy. Then krypton. Krypton means hidden. Then xenon means stranger. So these are all different. So the valency of these elements is 0. So these are all called noble gases. And elements of 70th group, that is called halogens. And elements of the 16th group, that is called chalcogen. These are all P block elements. Then these are all S block elements. First S block element is called alkali metals, and then it is called as a alkali earth metals. Then this is lanthanoid series or lanthanoid periods. Then this is actinoid period. This is all about classification of elements. In today's class, what have we discussed? First, classification. What is classification and why we need classification of elements? Then we have discussed about historic development of modern periodic table. First one, Dobereiner in the year of 1829. Then Dobereiner has given the law of triads. Then Newland has given the octave law. Then Mendeleev. What is the law of Mendelev's periodic law? That is, the properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic masses. Then what is the law of modern periodic table? This is very important for exam purpose. What is the law of modern periodic table? That is, physical properties or chemical properties of elements are the periodic functions of their atomic number, not atomic mass. As atomic mass related to Mendeleev's periodic law, but atomic number is related to modern periodic law. Then we have discussed about what is electronic configuration and shell. Shell means main energy level. Example KLMN. Then electronic configuration. What is electronic configuration? Means distribution of electrons into different orbitals of an atom. That is called electronic configuration. Already we have discussed about that. Next what we have discussed? Nomenclature. Nomenclature, you should remember the name of the digit. 0 means nil. Already I have written. 0 means nil, 1 means un, 2 means bi, 3 means tri, 4 means quad, 5 means pent, 6 means hex, 7 means hept, 8 means oct, 9 means n. Then 0 means nil. Can you guess? 112 elements. What is the nomenclature? What is the name? Un, biome. This is very simple. You should remember the name of the digit only. Then you can easily say the name of the undiscovered element also. So this is all about classification of elements. In the next class, we will discuss about physical and chemical trends in the periodic table. We will meet in the next video with the periodicity in properties. Till then, bye, take care.